lifetime to do. Without confidence, you're going to be really mired down in just unfulfilled desire in your life. You're going to be full of excuses more than you are why you are who you are. And you're going to be paralyzed by fear. It's something I deal with all the time. And that takes away from being confident. So I want to, what's really funny about women today is we are turning the corner in so many ways. And so we need to start acting like that and start taking more risk and stop the grumbling and apologizing, because the results are starting to really happen. And there is now research and statistical evidence that confidence is more important than your ability. I'm in an industry as a CPA where technical ability is really valued, has to be. But confidence is now showing is just as important, if not more. And here are the things that are happening for women. So more of us are getting college and graduate degrees. We are running some of the largest countries in the world, not just in the United States. There are now 17 female heads of states in the world. 105 seats in Congress are held by women, which is 19.6%. 25% of board members are now women, and those companies tend to be more profitable when women are on their boards. This is the best one. We control 80% of U.S. consumer spending. 26% of women in the U.S. do not work. They can have the lifestyle of raising their children and being home, and it's okay. Mothers are now the primary or sole earners, for 40% of households. We comprise of over now 50% of the workforce, and now 30% of businesses are owned by women or being started by women. And 3 out of 10 women serve their country or government in some capacity. Those are major, major statistics, and they're happening because of confidence and hard work and drive. But it's a huge factor in the development of things that are happening for women in the things I'm talking about. But it's also confidence affects your relationships, your family life, where you volunteer, maybe where you go to church, how you are confident in those roles. There's a lot of myths about confidence, and we think we can be more confident. Women are the we just do this. We believe that if we work harder, our talent will shine through. So we just don't ask questions, we just accept our circumstances, and we just work harder. And then we assume that we're better at having conversations in our head than with people. And what that does, again, it takes from the confidence factor. On top of all that, we focus on perfection. And perfection is not confidence. It's just paralyzing to you. And I hate to tell you, but we kind of overthink a lot of things. So all of that leads up to we care too much about then what others think, and we believe it's easier for everyone else around us, it's easier for them. Those are myths that take away from confidence. And so what I want to ask you is this. Are you a perfectionist? Are you hesitant? Do you micromanage every aspect of your life? Do you disengage because doing work and leveraging your skills is harder? Are you afraid to fail? And are you blessed with very uncooperative people in your life? You got to answer those things, because if you answer those are the things that drain your confidence. So you have to look at what risk are you willing to take to change those. And you can't change them all overnight, but those are really, really important questions. In fact, I have handouts for you today that tell you, are you confident or are you not? And so start looking at those and be honest. Why the confidence issue for women, I just went through. Pretty hard stuff, all the myths I just talked about, which we have a great handout for you on that. But let me give you examples of women who are confident and women who are not. Women who are confident talk about dreams, your plans, your aspirations, what you want to be, where you want to go, visions. And women who are not confident, they just talk about other women. It's evidence and it's statistically proven. You need to think about that. Here's another one. Confident people, they are the trendsetters. Confident people follow the trendsetters. Not everyone needs to be a trendsetter, but I mean, those are characteristics of, you're probably pretty confident if you can set the trend instead of follow it. A confident women, they don't try to please everyone. In fact, their motto is confidence is not that they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't. So, when you're consumed in I gotta please everyone around me, or hey, I'm not gonna try to please you because I'm trying to do the right thing. So those are things that that's how you know you're confident, and that's how you know you're not. So what is the self-confidence formula for women? As a CPA, we do everything with formulas. So here we go. Step 1, take responsibility for yourself. The path towards your confidence is the one that you travel, not everyone else. It's your journey. 2, you gotta start experimenting with some things in your life. I did this when I was 38 years old. There were just things I wanted to do that I talked about doing but didn't. One of them was I wanted to read the New York Times from cover to cover. Why? I don't know. But it was one of those things that was so refreshing because I found my little place where nobody could be, and I read the New York Times. And once I finally got over I don't need to probably read the New York Times, but it was kind of one of those things where I said, I'm going to do this. I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it was about. It was very interesting. When I got bored with it, I went on to something else. Try new things. You got to develop an action plan and then you implement it. I know for myself, I read a book, Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And I always did the how and the what. We all do. Or the when, the how, and the what's easier. But you got to know the why. And for the longest time, I asked myself, here's my why. I'm going to help you with your business. I'm going to do your accounting. I'm going to get your taxes done. Then I said, no, I'm going to have a completely different action plan for my clients. In fact, I'm going to make sure that you're successful so that as the employer, your employees are successful. And those employees are households that are the infrastructure of a community. So it took a whole new turn how I advised and energized my client versus just doing your taxes because that's just a given. Everyone has to do them, right? So I developed a whole new action plan on my why and started doing that why and thinking about that why for everything. It was excellent. You got to stick with something. Self-confidence, it doesn't come because you tried one thing. You took one pill. That's what we generally like to do. Or we read one book. It's a continual evolvement and development. You always act as if. As if, I'm putting in quotes. So if you put off action until you have confidence, you'll never do it. If you take action and do it with a semblance of outward confidence at some time, the inward true confidence will follow. My mother always told us, false cheer is better than real crabbiness. And I always use that. Sometimes you just have to get out there and you just have to act like it's all okay, even though it isn't. I wouldn't hide from all those things, but there are times that confidence, it will get you there. And once you're out there going, okay, everything's good, get your smiles on. That was our Sunday morning every week. It's church time, kids. All 6 of us got in the van, put your smiles on, we're going to church. And we did. All getting ready with one bathroom, right? And then you have to find a mentor if you want confidence because you need somebody's outside perspective telling you when you went to the arrogant side or now you're back at the insecure side. You've got to have that person in your life that comes in and says, here's what you do. So those are kind of the formulas. And again, we'll give you these handouts on our website that we'll refer to at the end of this podcast. These are things that are just easy reading, easy, simple stuff. Take away 1 or 2 of them and start it. But there are things you can do to boost your confidence. As women, it's very important. One is dress nicely, groom yourself. That sounds really simple, but I will tell you, the last time I spoke at the Brady Ware's Women's Conference, I decided to engage Sue Cantor she's a sophisticated stylist, is her company. And I thought, I just want to look great that day. And she just was fabulous. And I showed up to the store, and in there she has all these outfits for me to try on. And it came down to 3 of them, and she says, well, what do you think? And I mean, people were just awesome. I had the shoes, the jewelry, the clothes, the makeup. Here's what you need to do. And I just felt great. And she goes, well, which one do you want? I said, oh no, I'm taking it all. Pack it up. And I bought every bit of it. And I went to the conference that day, and I mean, this is kind of embarrassing to even say, but I ended up wearing all 3 outfits throughout the day. It was just fun, and it was a fun thing for the day. And I felt confident just doing it, and it was just fun. So those things can really get you. I have a whole list of things that can boost your confidence. Stand taller, speak slower, be prepared. Sometimes just decide you're going to be kind and generous all day. You'll be amazed at what that can do because you'll forget the stuff in your life. Focus on solutions. Smiling's easier than frowning. Sometimes you got to just clear your desk and clean it. There's all kinds of ways to do it. But I can tell you, people who are confident will get on the stage, perform for a president, not hide behind a piano, and sing like she's 20. And you can do that. It takes time, it takes development, but it's rewarding at the end of the day. As your career advancements continue, your financial opportunities will continue to grow. Be prepared. Visit bradyware.com/resources to download a copy of the financial checklist for every stage of your life. Everything about the Inspiring Woman's podcast, this episode, and Brady Ware & Company accounting services can be found in the podcast show notes.